We good? Yeah, it looks like it's working now.
If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall, and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces, and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse. You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight. We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Velatius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps. As you wish, Lord Captain. As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Tell me about yourself. What became?
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, I used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcements to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds.
Nothing.
Our acquaintance was
Why, hello there, Finks.
not easy.
Hello,
Working with
hello.
people
Hold on.
outside the Navy
My
hierarchy
browser's
has
just
never
crashed.
been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then.
Burn
that
up.
after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue
6
traders'
months.
personal council.
Welcome back. How are you?
I used to be an
fuck, what did I
officer in
just
the
click
Navis
on?
Imperialis. No,
Oh, it's the same one.
I met Lord Captain Theodora. It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the Expanse.
I'm trying to learn about my crew right now. And try to see if I can get this done before the new season of First Ascendant. I might not be able to, but I think this is a game where I'm not going to lose too much track because it has pretty good like logging of your quests and stuff. But I saw a couple people running like Baldur's Gate and stuff, and I was like, I kind of like the concept of that style of game, but then I've had this in my library for a while. I'm like, but this is like a 40k version. So with that, I'm like, sign me the fuck up. Because I know a lot of the lore of 40k anyway, so it's going to be a lot easier for me to jump on board with it.
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. Well, the Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue.
So because she was a rogue trader, she had inways with the Navy to basically be able to go, hey, I want him to stand out, and then the Navy were like, if you're going with her, that's fine, you're good to go.
The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing, or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
Abelard seems to crack slightly under your intense stare, so I coerced him into basically telling me more. That's interesting. It doesn't tell me in here, like, if I'm using one of these skills, but that's fine. This will be an interesting one.
What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless.
Oh, okay. I upset him a little bit. Well, it doesn't tell me if I, like, kind of lost reputation with him or anything.
I am a widower.
Aww.
I am a father of 4. And if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11.
Oh.
My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship. And I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps. Of course. I thank you for the honor, but I must decline. As a former military officer, I believe in the importance of order in all things, including the chain of command. You are the Lord Captain, my direct superior. I am not prepared to address you in any way other than as regulation dictates.
Okay, fine.
As you wish, Lord Captain. Of course, Lord Captain.
Okay. Bridge officers. This is where the fight went down. Oh, I guess I have to be over here to be able to see things. Servitors. Can I interact with the... Oh, hi. Oh. Alright. I find it... I wish that... I can't find it... This is where I need someone to show up in the chat that's actually played the game before. And then be like, right, I've got questions. How do I make it so I don't have to press tab and this just basically stays like this? Okay, what's that? That's the crest. Anything over here? Oh. The ancestry records. Interesting. Oh. What's this? Oh, is this people who've played the... Wait. It's the Shrine of Remembrance. Is this people who've completed it, or credits for the game? Because, like, you've got, like, all of these. But then you got, like, people's actual names. God of Alexander's. Andrews. Was this like a Kickstarter game? Oh. Oh. Cargo list? What's this mean? Oh. This story is not valuable enough to be mighty for a mighty right. Drag pieces of loot to remove it from the heat screen and packed into suitable cargo space. You may withdraw loot from the cargo anytime. Selling cargo to a merchant improves your reputation with the faction. However, loot inside that cargo will be lost. Okay. Xeno artifacts, jewelry. Why is there a tick though? Do you have to hit 100% before you can sell it? Okay. Oh. Oh. I can link it with my Twitch account. I could do drops. Got it. Do I have drops now? Question mark? Just had a rough 2 weeks past. It's better all now. How have you been? I've been good, dude. I've been good. Like, yesterday was hard. Yesterday was the anniversary of the passing of one of my best friends. Now, that was like a tough thing, but I think it's like I've been mourning for like a year. So it's kind of like, it makes it a little bit easier on the anniversary. So. What the fuck is this? Play? Play what? Oh, I can play. Creepy organ, got it. Random heads of things. Oh, I know where I am now. Oh, goods. What's this? Unfinished letters. It cost me too much. Years of work to render the resource all wasted. Failed was supposed to be irreproachable at uncovering spies. I'm a senior officer. I'm not able to discard him. It served me too long for his removal to go painlessly. Besides, he has no fall. He could not have been seriously expected to come to the next one. Like when his skills and talents as Master Whisperer are so valuable, let his disinheritance serve him as humiliating but instructive lessons of which you may learn. Interesting. Yada yada. Okay. Kind of want. What this. Water's calming murmurs and the warm steamy feel inexplicably deceptive. Moment of weakness and the rest are promising nothing but danger. I think I saw this in the trailer for the DLC, so I think that might have something to do with that. Is that the door to leave? No. So this is my quarters, right? Where's the... Well, oh wait, is it here? Oh, what's this? Claim your rewards. New rewards available. Cool, I guess. Oh, whoops. Alright, yeah. This is the desk. The ancestry. Got it. I was just, yeah. Pointing the wrong way. TFT, are you waiting for the new season as well? Yeah. Like, I have all my alts. They're all leveled up to where I want them to be. And, like, I've got everything where I need it to be. The only thing I've got is, like, you know, get some weapons to better levels and stuff. And it's a bit like... I don't really need that right now. I'm like, okay, fine. But it's kind of like... it's kind of... This is where, like, I like to be with games in a way that... I kind of like that I can get to a point in a game and actually be like, okay, I'm done for now. I can play other things and then I can come back. Because this is one of the things that I hated about Destiny. It's kind of like, it just felt like it just consumed all my time and then I never, because it was so like drip feed that it's kind of like, I just ended up getting frustrated with it the majority of the time. Ooh, techno map. Okay. And with TFD, I can just kind of go, you know what? Like, get all the characters I want, get the the weapons to where I want them to be. Irida. Hey, there we go. Does she talk to me? There's a temple, implant, or a temple. And yeah, so with the First Ascendant, it's kind of like I like that I can actually complete what I feel is the season, and then actually be like, I'm done now. I can play with other things, and then come back and be like really excited with it, and be like, oh, this is all cool new stuff, and like kind of, it's almost like constantly re-falling back in love with it. Whereas if you're just constantly doing it all the time, you just get bored of it.
What are you talking about, Lord Captain?
You're a Xico. Psychos are only granted right to live with the Emperor's blessing. Have you ever been to Terra? I'm concerned about your level of control over your abilities. I'm worried for the crew. Psychos aren't the safest people. That's not...
Look, Lady Theodora couldn't care less if some eggheads measured my brains or not. It's not about the seal on your forehead, get it? It's about what's in your gut, if it's rotten or not. My gut's stronger than the adamantine on this here ship. And my implants are better than the ones they put in you on your Terra. If they weren't, I wouldn't have lived as long as I have.
Okay. Desert teeth in savage grin, a feeble gleam in her eye. Okay, where's she from?
Lyra, an outlying world in the Heathen Stars region. In the Coronis expanse, the deeper you go, the less visible the Astronomicon gets, and the less people know about the Imperium. The arrival of a rogue trader is the best thing that can happen to a world like that. The very best.
Okay. Tell me about Lyra.
It's an out-of-the-way planetoid between two faint stars. On Lyra, a dozen local tyrants fight over 5 measly continents. But they use everything they can to win. From poison to psychos. I haven't been there in many years, but there's nothing for me to miss. Trust me.
Alright.
But here on the ship is a different story altogether. I saw more wonders in my first year serving Lady von Valancius than I'd seen in my whole life on Lyra. Like my first journey
Hey,
through
Matthias.
the warp, I was in bed for 3 days. I felt like supernovas were exploding in my head. I only found out later that I'd gotten off easy. Just through the bulkhead in the bay next to mine, a whole team turned into... Look at me rambling on, Lord Captain. Pay no attention.
Fill my vape and end up like pouring half of it down the side. Yeah, what did she do?
Oh, I embroidered wall hangings in honor of our national heroes. I did the same thing I do here, Lord Captain. Divining. Our rulers prized the ability to see into the future. Every psyker that could be found was worth a small fortune on Lyra.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a peaceful life on Lyra. People like me were especially sought after. They'd pick psychers up wherever they found them, buy kids off their parents, even just abduct them. Take me, for instance. I got taken from my street gang. The older kids sold me when they noticed there was something off about me. The ruling dynasties had schools where they trained us and beat us black and blue. And then they packed us off to serve. Some of us held on for a long time, but others didn't last. Not everyone's as smart and talented as me, you know. Some people crossed the line and were out of commission before their time.
Okay, so basically, Psycho's burnt out, but she was a bit more smart with it.
Theodora von Valancius paid a visit to the ruler I was serving at the time. I don't know what the visit was for, and it's no business of mine anyway. I can still remember the way the voices in my head changed when I looked at her. They were practically screaming. She had so much behind her, and plenty ahead of her too. As I gawped at her, all of a sudden I heard a whisper. A hint, a suggestion, nothing more. But I know the difference between idle chatter and a real threat. I seized my chance and approached Theodora. I managed to whisper a couple of words in her ear before the wardens dragged me away. They beat me and locked me up. No wonder. It wasn't my place to converse with outsiders. And then Theodora's people came for me. They broke down the wall, butchered the guards. Also, I could tell them my warning in full. So I said the rest, but I didn't want to go back to my old life. And so I entered the service of the von Valancius dynasty.
Alright. God damn, they literally butchered people to get her. Okay.
A few times. Not many. And if I think about it, why would I want to? I've got everything I need here. All the whispers I hear are familiar ones. They almost feel like family. And if I want to hear about the nightmares off the ship, I can. After some Amisec. But don't go getting the wrong idea. If I have to, I'll follow you to the edge of the galaxy.
So she's incredibly loyal.
It wasn't like it was a very fun trip, Lord Captain. But look, if you want to be entertained, I'm the woman for the job. I'll entertain you with one of the stories from my collection, no problem. But if you want to hear about the time I melted everyone in the bay next door, well, I just don't really want to go into the details on that one, all right?
What do you mean she melted everyone? There we go. Can I go to my channel, please? I just want to go to the... Oh my god, what the hell is happening? Right, if I click this button... Thank you. Now it shows up. Because clearly... Apparently if I tab away from the browser, it literally breaks everything. Let's talk about something else.
Of course, Lord Captain. Lord Captain, forgive
I want to
me,
see if she gives me
but it
a...
would be like talking to a person born blind about colors. I could spend hours explaining, but it wouldn't make any sense to... Every Psyker feels their connection with the warp in their own way. One person might see spots and shadows out of the corner of their eye. Another feels fingers running down their spine. As for me, I've got a door in my head. One that's open just a crack. There's no way to close it, no matter how hard I try. I've just had to get used to the whispers from the other side. When I need to use it for work, I listen in more closely. But I usually just try not to notice it.
Interesting.
Training, habit, and a little amasec and a couple other things you can get on the lower decks. If you put all those together, it makes things bearable.
So basically she drugs herself.
Sometimes I even wonder if I'm imagining half the voices I hear. You know, when life on board gets a little boring. Better than listening to the living, anyhow.
True.
All right. That's what I'm here for, after all. So, I'm just going to lean on that door in my head a little more, prick up my ears, and listen to what the warp's got to say about you. If you'll allow it, I can listen right now. All right. Let's
see
hear
what
what they're
happens.
whispering about you. Hmm?
Pop open the door.
Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void. There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood.
Oh god.
With each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained.
Alright, so it looks like we're gonna end up killing a lot of people. Okay. She draws about... there waits a child without kin. Draws across... So this person wants to kill everyone. Okay.
Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage seeks the answer to a question. He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, rogue trader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion.
A red-robed sage, so in my eyes that's going to be someone from the AdMech. Does not know that it's not the answer he must seek. So, but the question will draw everything into focus. Okay.
A chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks in the scent of oil confound his nose. A chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his master, or merely another beast in the pack of his true lord?
Okay, so this is going to be chained hound. So basically, if we have a warrior of some sorts, a glimpse in the aura but sparks scent of oil, confound his nose. So he's basically like blinded by rage almost. Chain changes after him. What happens when you pick it up? Okay.
The glow of dawn bursts forth from its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand, one that holds death in twisted glass. Cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it?
The glow of dawn. Oh, that's that word again. From its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the darkness. The dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub. Pushes his nose into a familiar hand. Okay.